day, good evening here in California. It's dark already. I have some time to continue part 2 from my first part live stream about community as our immunity to whatever happens in our society, in the world right now, and my view for this year and upcoming years. Um, so I will continue without any summary. You can find another video or recording of the live stream on my account. The only thing I will say that there there are three parts for this talk or information sharing, and the first part was about the structures and how the structures are collapsing in the society, and that's why we have this kind of the sense of frustration, what's going on, we are lost, and lost trust in institutions, lost trust in our leaders, and what are we going to do next? Still, many of us are looking for another better leader, another better institutions, but it's out of date already. The systems are collapsing, and rather than replacing them with a better system of the same similar sort, I think we are better to create something different, because those systems didn't work for the last 400 years. And I will remind you that my view or my vision for the future, this year and other years, is kind of based on whatever I know about astrology, and that whatever happens right now is not a surprise to me, but it's a surprising how deep is it and how it's unfolded. So I was aware that very dramatic changes are going to happen, but of course I didn't know how these changes are going to happen. And it's pretty interesting in what's going on and like how it's actually happens. And we are living in pretty exciting times if we have this sense that we can deal with these changing times. And there's a saying from how it was Tolkien's story about hobbits. There's a saying that time is moving, times is going on. We cannot do with these interesting times or terrible times, but the only thing we can do is to live through these times. And how we live through these times, that's how we basically create our lives, how we relate to these times, how we help each other, how we relate to each other. That's how we create our lives. Thank you for joining me here. I'm talking about communities as our immunity in this unpredictable, chaotic times of so many changes in our society, and possible feeling a sense of helplessness, frustration, feeling stuck, maybe lost, and how community is our kind of, that's how we can help each other to feel stronger, to feel hope, and to provide help. Because governments cannot, educational system kind of failing, and we can see. I see chat, yes, hi. Hi to everybody. Um, so I continue. I have another video. I covered first part. I ended the first video on the second part. The second part, first part was collapse of institutional trust. Centralized security becomes a ghost. Second part, from planning to individual sovereignty. So the planning, like hospitals, schools, and governments, where we used to plan in corporate work, we used to plan for many years of strategy planning. Now we cannot. Changes happen so fast that all the planning doesn't matter right now. We have to adjust all the planning. That original planning doesn't really matter. We still planning, but the adjustments have to be done. So often that original planning, it's like, yeah, it's like sunk cost. We still do it, but really maybe we need to adjust the whole planning thing. It doesn't work anymore. It's like illusion, but we are still holding to that habit. The government 5-year plans, it doesn't work anymore. And I think why it doesn't work with invitation or creation or whatever happened with AI. We invited this technology in our life, and this technology changed the speed of our lives, changed the pace of our living. We cannot plan anymore. This technology dictates or adds or shows up as different speed of our life. We cannot do anything already. We have to consider how AI develops or expands, and to adjust our lives to that speed. Um, One thing, maybe other technologies develop in their speeds that that are much faster. So the planning, as it was effective last 400 years, now it doesn't do the work anymore. So we have to redirect our attention to individual sovereignty. Rely on ourselves more than on planning, on structures, on institutions. Not individualistically, but on ourselves and on other people, on agreements one to one, or me as an individual to community. Not to agreed structures and institutions. Like we cannot do. I know that like hospital operates or medical system operates this way, then I can rely on it. I can rely on the doctors because they will heal me. No, because now we know that doctors operate on a financial interest basis, not to heal us. Now we know that schools operate on control and financial interest basis, not to educate to the best of possibility to our children, right? We know that. We still believe that we need to go to schools, we need to go to universities to get educated, but we know that it's for control, for forming ideal a human being, for socializing and workforce, not to educate a good citizen. You know, that's it's known, but we still believe in something. Thank you for pleasant comments. So that's the second. So we are moving to individual sovereignty. The plan no longer works. System failure. So there is no point to fix all systems. They are out of date. You still can revive them with electrical shock as a last resort, but they will not work. So I think that it's time to create something new uh, from this pain, because there will be a lot of grief and pain now, because grief about loss of something that we trusted, loss about something that we 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 know that we could rely. Now we know that we cannot rely on those systems. It felt good that we could rely on education, we could rely on government, we could rely on medical system. Now we know that it's dangerous, we cannot rely. Now we can rely only on ourselves, and we should learn how to rely on other people, communities, other people, people to people. Something and this purposeful reliance on ourselves and other people, it will come through pain. Any purpose, I think, is created and born through pain. I was asked one time how you found your purpose. My purpose is living towards peace and creating. I'm a parenting coach and relationship coach, and through my work I make it easier to other people, or make it possible to other people through parenting coaching, to create space for nurturing their children to become more successful, more loved, more confident adults through a better parenting. So I cannot coach children, I cannot help so many children, but I can coach adults, their parents, so they can parent better, be a better parents for their children. That this way I can help their children to become a better adults. So I hope for ripple effect in the future, for a more peaceful future, a better future for all, for my children too. That's my purpose for in this world. And several times people ask me, how did you come to this purpose in your life? I figure out I came to this purpose through pain of my personal pain. I guess the highest point was 2022, the beginning of war between Ukraine and Russia. I'm Russian. I was living several years already in US, but that pain from Ukrainian people, from Russian people, touched me here in US so deeply, the dissonance, the pain from there and here. First it was hate. I was called fascist. I was called so many names. I was angry first, but then I realized there's so much pain from people, so much pain. And through that pain, I decided to not to take sides, but to make this a purpose of my life, to build, to practice peace, and to make it possible for others to create more peaceful life in the future as I can. I'm not going to politics, to anything. I'm a coach and I do as I can. I can create peace through my work. I will do it. So everybody can find their purpose through their work, through their life. So yeah, find your purpose. But I realized it came through pain. Hello, I'm from Venezuela. Well, nice to meet you. Um, so let's continue. So individual sovereignty. So I believe that if we stop to try to fix all systems, so we can create new systems, likely decentralized, local, based on high trust peer network. I have a book by Piotr Kropotkin about communities. When I analyzed in school or in university his theory, I didn't believe him. Like, it's impossible how communities can operate in decentralized manner. Like, how it should be a high morality or something of each member of community, so they wouldn't create wars or disagreements or something between the communities. So how to organize all the communities to collaborate with each other, that's that's the problem to solve. It's not something that impossible, because right now we have to figure out it. We have to figure out to create a new future. We have to do something. It's the only way to go. It's like no point to repeat. If we either repeat or evolve. How about to evolve? How about to evolve? We have AI. Maybe we can evolve this time. Maybe it can help us if we are so stupid as humans, right? Maybe we can evolve if AI can take some tasks from us. I don't know. So, number three, digital hall of mirrors. What's that? It's actually about what happens about our identities. With propaganda and AI driven identity blurring, who we are with all this, what we've been told through online mass media, social media. Do you know who you are? Um, do you know who you are supposed to be? Do you know any, like, not ideal, what is a good human being? When we in my school years, we I think I had some image of a good person. Right now, I am an adult. I don't have an image of a good person. I only know who I want to be, who I want to become. I have no idea what a good person is supposed to be. I wonder who is the good person for my children. I hope they don't take this image from social media or news. We don't watch news. We take news from social media, right? From internet. We don't watch TV. But still, we take news from somewhere. So this blurred identity, and I think at certain point, minority is already understanding that online is everything is fake online. We are getting to that point, and majority may get to that point to understand that nothing is real online. Now we cannot distinguish what is AI, what is not. Like, majority cannot distinguish. We don't have any classes or critical AI thinking classes, whatever, to teach people how to distinguish. Well, I guess in USA it's for a certain purpose we don't have these classes. Um, you can learn online. I'm sure you can learn how to distinguish, but AI is developing or expanding so quickly, and the visually it's so good now. It's hard to distinguish. You have to include your thinking. You have to include critical thinking, like, do those guys have uniforms? If nobody can identify the street or location in this video or this cafe, maybe it's fake. Just like include critical thinking, not just it looks AI. No, it might look real. Does this animal do those things? Does these two animals can be together in this like sea lion can be on the right on the whale or something, like just dig a little bit in on internet and fact check. If you ask something from AI bot, extra step like check your own reply, and they say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm wrong, like one extra step. Do you care how true the original reply? It's funny how we rely, how we trust AI bots, and how we don't trust people, and everybody still thinks that AI is so much more intelligent than humans, like different standards. I know that's how it's sold to us, but can we just think a little bit harder about this new technology? Uh, yes, I do know who I am. That's good. That's good. So you know who you are at this point, so you can evolve from this point further, right? That's good. So, digital hollow mirrors, propaganda and AI-driven identity blurring, systems failure, social media communities are not a communities of people anymore. They used to be. Now it's like bot filled echo chambers. Do you know that those people in your communities are real people? Yes, if you know them in person, you know them. But when you enter the communities, who are those names? Are they real or not? So in this sense, bots in those communities will be more and more sophisticated with their own life stories. Real. I mean, real in the sense that for several years they will be living on life, creating their online identities, creating their life stories, quite sophisticated. Like if you join online community 3 years ago and this bot joined the same online community 5 years ago, he is more or it is more experienced and has more authority in this online community than you. Crazy. It sounds crazy, and it's not a real person, it's a bot. And you could be in a position to ask an advice how to be in this community from a bot. Crazy. So I feel that at this moment already, it makes sense to create face-to-face community, like person to person. And actually 2020 and all this pandemic stuff showed us we do need other people. It showed us how important to be connected to yourself. It gave us time and space to connect to yourself, to be with yourself, to disconnect from this hustle of everyday working space, for example, and be with yourself. and how it might be uncomfortable, but then you connect it. I don't know. For me, it was a great time. Um, but then it felt so crystallized that I need a different kind of connection with other people. Not not any kind of connection, but a different quality of connection with people. I didn't want a noisy one. I didn't want just a small talk for spend the time. I don't want it anymore. I want a meaningful connection with people. I want meaningful relationships. I'm so comfortable right now to be without noisy relationships and be alone and looking for a meaningful relationship. And thanks for that um, kind of pandemic years. So I'm thinking about creating purposeful gatherings, and maybe you can create purposeful gatherings in your community, or by creating purposeful gatherings you can create communities with different kind of entering rules. I'm going to have very strict rules, because that's my standards. Yeah, it depends on your standards, but really it's a totally different level of communication than online communities. Really, my example is Cheburashka. Yes, I have Cheburashka. I have Cheburashka on Cheburashka. Thank you for noticing. So my example was with Facebook. I had many friends on Facebook. I deleted Facebook account. Now I have no friends from Facebook. I thought I had friends, like real friends, but I deleted Facebook account. Nobody reached out from those people. Nobody. You know, that was kind of crazy. Uh, Still grieving about it, but again, is it grieving about what? Grieving about who? I create an illusion about those people. My problem, right? I created this illusion about those people. It's not their problem that they are not real friends of mine. I created this illusion that they were friends of mine. No, they were people on my contact list in Facebook. I deleted Facebook. I deleted contact list. That's it. People stay still there. It just I created illusion about those people, and it's pretty sobering when we delete ourselves or remove ourselves from those online communities, and we see for real how many real people we have around us, and then we connect in reality, person to person. We feel energy, we connect for purpose, we exchange energy. That's how I see this year. Purposeful connection, purposeful gatherings of real people. That's how we can create immunity to whatever happens in the world right this year, and next year will be even more interesting. um, I'm really I guess I'm done with all the information sharing here. So identity, we have to identity is failed because identity, like social identities, are changing right now because our social identities were kind of based on roles, job roles. and jobs changes so dramatically with changes in society, like robots will come, and what kind of jobs we will have, what kind of statuses, it will all change, and we feel it, and we feel anxiety about it, many of us. But again, let's connect to ourselves, to our real identities. Let's build our identities on like inner strength, on our inner strength, our inner knowledge about ourselves. For those who know themselves, great, explore more. For those who like have no idea, and well, you can experiment with something. You can experiment with psychological tests if you like. I'm psychologist by education, but I kind of don't like psychological tests because it's self-reporting, and self-reporting is very subjective. It depends on your mood, it depends on your conditioning, how you were socialized. You were born in a certain way, but then you were socialized by your parents, school system. So what, who you are right now, right? I am very into human design, which is kind of, it's not astrology. It's astrology in many more different many di- yeah, many more different systems inside. So you can uh, experiment with human design, and you can create your card. It requires date of birth, time of your birth time, like exact, like minutes, um, and place of birth for time zone. And you can make it free card, like free chart, and you can just explore for fun what kind of energy type you are. And I really like to explore my human design because it gave me so much knowledge to experiment. It doesn't mean that you are this kind, because you were born this kind, but it doesn't mean that you are this kind right now. You were conditioned to somebody different. Now you can get to know you, who you can potentially be. Why it can be helpful? Because when identities collapsing, identities based on social parameters or statuses are collapsing, what is left? It might be nothing, or it might be something that you're exploring, right? At least something. It might be helpful in a way that you have at least something that you're exploring, and it's like, yeah, it's interesting, it's something about me. So it's a way of kind of therapy, not therapy, but something about you. Not emptiness, but you replace something collapsing with something else. If you don't believe in this woohoo, well, find something else. But at least you're not alone in emptiness. Or talk to somebody, uh, join the community. Well, religious people find helpful to join a religious community if you're, it's it's what you, it's closer to you, right? Join the community. I'm all right. Thank you for asking. See how beautiful. It's real. It's real. So yeah, can try to be not infected by collective panic. That's the thing. When everybody's panicking about frustration, collapse of the systems, yes, they are collapsing. Yep. Try not to be in this panic. Try to be like observer, and then the question is what I can do in this collapse to stay sane, stay as observer, not in this, you know how it's I forgot the name, when it's a very strong wind takes everything from the ground. Tornado. When tornado, just go away, watch it, don't be in it. And All Her Fault. No, I haven't watched All Her Fault. So yeah, self individual sovereignty. So try to find your base and take responsibility for your choices in these times of a lot of changes. Yeah, thank you for being here and listening to me, and have a great day, night, or time of the day. Any time of the day, let it be kind to you.